Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles and great Muslim who told me his truth and rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the Akim out there, scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth, that's serving this truth and all truth and sincerity. To you, I say Shalom. And this is going to be a quick video to going into basically not taking this truth for granted. You know, we have to understand that we are in a very, very good case, and in a special case, brothers. And we can't be taking this for granted. You know, there's a lot of people out here that that they cannot get this thing, you know, and will never get this thing, no matter how simplified we make it and try to give it to them. They will never give it. They will never get it. So us having this wisdom and knowledge and understanding and be able to hear this word and to be able to, you know, to see the things that are happening and that are going to happen, you know, we have to be thankful for that. You know, we got to make sure that we're not taking that for granted and neglecting it. And I'm going to grab the scripture. This is 1 Timothy 4 and 14. It says, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. And we're going to go into that word. Well, ultimately, that word just means teachers, which is our elders, you know. Here it is. It says Presbyterian. So, like, that's how you say it, Presbyterian. G4244. And the definition, it says the body of elders, you know, presbytery, Senate Council. It says, you know, of Jewish elders, shall have elders of any body assembly of Christians. So basically, you know, that's our elders. You know, our elders, you know, they did the work. You know, they did all the groundwork for us. You know, I just watched a video of the elder talking about how the apostles, like the apostle Rakah, talking about how, you know, basically how everything they went through and how, you know, they was doing this thing for a period of time, and they didn't, you know, they wasn't seeing the fruits of their labor just yet. You know, he talked about how Apostle Tahar, you know, always had that spirit on and was given that spirit of staying, you know, staying true, you know, staying in this thing and uplifting their spirits, you know, because, you know, they grew up, they was coming up in the era of no internet. So, you know, they was solely just out here, you know, it literally just going on the highways and byways and teaching without able to really reach as many sheep as possible at that time. So, you know, they wasn't really seeing the fruits of their labor. So they really didn't know, you know, who was listening to them. And then, you know, once they got on the internet stage, you know, he talked about how they blew up, how, you know, brothers would start, you know, coming to the fold from all over. And he was talking about how it was, you know, a very emotional thing to see. And I can understand it because, you know, I can understand where he's coming from. You know, they was doing this thing, you know, for like 30 plus years, you know, and they didn't have their internet, you know, and they didn't really understand the magnitude it was at the time, because he talked about it, you know, and then they was going, you know, they was catching their hell. You know, they was catching their hell too. So, you know, he talked about how they, you know, their spirits got low. And I can understand, you know, going through that, you know, how he talked about they had fights, you know, was got put in jail and all that. You know, they didn't really see the end goal at that time. But, you know, as they, you know, they didn't let that waver them. You know, they didn't let them waver their faith or cause them to fall out. You know, they continued in this thing. And why did they do that? Because they did not neglect the gift. Because even with them not even seeing the full fruits of their labor, they still did not neglect this gift that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai gave them. So they continued in it. And as they continued in it, then they start seeing the fruits of their labor. They start seeing the brothers come in. They start seeing how this truth is really reaching the four corners of the earth. So that's why we have to make sure that we give. That's why before every video we give double honors to the elders and apostles, because they did everything for us. They did the hard work for us. Like I was about to say, they didn't have the luxury of the internet, so they couldn't just hop on Google and find out information about anything in 5 minutes. They had to go to the libraries. They had to read endless books. They had to do diligent search for information, and so they basically laid that foundation for us in Great Millstone that we have now, and we can't take that for granted. That's why we have to make sure that we are precise on these breakdowns, that we are precise when it comes to these scriptures, and that we also take the time to use the elders and apostles, to pick their brains, to go back and watch the videos that they did, way back then, because those videos still have edification from it, as well as there's a lot of videos that they have taken down. So any chance that brothers get, and not just the elders and apostles, but any elder that's in the camp, we have to use those opportunities to to fellowship with them, because we coming in times where we don't know how many more fellowships we got with brothers, and we can't take it for granted. Like, we can't take this truth for granted. We cannot take the elders for granted as well that we have around us. That's why the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua set them up for a reason, and set them up around us for a reason. So we have to make sure that we are we're using that time. I can't think of the word right now. I hate when that happens. Salaki. But we're using that time wisely. That's what I want to say. We're using that time wisely, and not in vain. And I'm gonna continue to read. It's verse 15. It says, "Meditate upon these things, and give thyself wholly unto them, that thy profiting may appear to all." So we gotta give ourselves wholly to them. We gotta make sure that we're not cheating, not just ourselves, but we're cheating the man who did the work for us, and who's giving it to us. We can't cheat them, because at the end of the day it's gonna be exposed, and the Lord sees it. But you're not cheating nobody but yourself, and you're really trying to cheat the Lord. And just how the Lord gave you this, the Lord can take it away from you just as fast. So we gotta make sure that's why we want to make sure that we show our respect to the elders and apostles, but we also we owe respect to Yahweh Shem Yahushua as well, and not try to get over on these brothers, because these were the brothers who He set up for us. And I'm continuing to read. It says verse 16. It says, "Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee." So from doing this work, we're gonna save ourselves, but also save the ones that hear this, and that's what they did for us. From doing their work, they basically they saved their self, or saving their self, because we're not saved yet, and also the ones that hear us, and that's what they did for us. They're looking out for our souls, and they looked out for our souls, because the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua through them gave them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and then they gave it to us. And now it's our job to do the same thing they did for us. So, just a quick video, brothers, about just don't take this for granted. Make sure that you're using your time wisely, and that you constantly examine yourself. So I'm gonna close out. I give my praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Shalom.